Xenon said, would you trade Swift for Dobbins? I wouldn't at this point. It is crazy the complete 180 that DeAndre Swift has made. I mean, DeAndre Swift is running back 8 on the season, 29.5 fantasy points in week 4, 20 points in week 5, 21.9 in week 6. Like, I was completely wrong about this guy. I advocated for dropping him because of the Roschon Johnson news. And ironically enough, the week that they talked about Roschon Johnson possibly getting a serious look is the week that Swift took the job back and didn't look back. So I would rather Swift at this point, just because I do think that this offense for the Bears is going to score more points. And this Chargers offense, for what it's worth, like, they're not high powered. They're not going to be in a lot of higher scoring games, where I do think that Swift will be, and Swift provides work in the passing game. So I prefer Swift at this point.
Yeah, I'm a big J.K. Dobbins guy. Me and Steve both. But what we're seeing out of DeAndre Swift right now, and it was a slow start, but there was a reason why for the slow start. They played Tennessee and Houston, 2 top 9 defenses against fantasy running backs. And he struggled again against Indy, which was a really good matchup. But once we saw Caleb Williams turn the corner, that opened things up for DeAndre Swift. And this guy now over 20 PPR points in 3 straight games. The usage is there. The touchdowns is there. The targets are there. Going into it's not updated yet, but going into last week, he's at 17.8 touches per game, 11.9% of his team targets, 11.7 yards after the catch, 66.7% of his yards after contact. Going into this weekend, and he had another prolific outing. And Pete said it right. Like, Dobbins is good, but if you look at the 2 matchups that he failed in, he's a matchup dependent running back. Now, a couple of nice ones upcoming, but like when we see Tennessee in week 10, I don't care if Dobbins has 3 straight games and 18 more. Like, I'm going to sit him in bad matchups because of what we've seen. And then, like, from weeks 12 to 14, Baltimore, Atlanta, KC. Baltimore's 3rd against the run. Atlanta 8, KC number 1. And then the playoff matchup for Dobbins are good, but like there's a lot of volatility, and I think it's a lot of matchup-based plays with J.K. Dobbins, where DeAndre Swift, there's some bad matchups ahead for him too, but this is a more prolific offense. Like with the Chargers, you can stack the box and say, okay, Justin Herbert, you can go beat us with Ladd McConkey, Josh Palmer, and Quentin Johnson. Like, we're okay with that. Where if you stack the box against DeAndre Swift, okay, Caleb, like, look at all the weapons. Kmet, Keenan Allen came alive, Dunze, DJ Moore. They have a lot of guys.
Yeah. And for what it's worth, I mean, Dobbins had a good week this week. 96 yards, 25 attempts. But they were also ahead 20-0. Like, so that led to giving him the football even more. And 2 catches, 6 yards. Like, he just doesn't do a lot as a receiver. I mean, this is a guy that touched the ball 27 times and only produced 16.2 points. Like, it's not a knock on him, but you just would hope for more. I would prefer Swift. We got some other comments in here. We'll get to you guys in